Hey everybody, Sneaky Narcotic, back at it again with another YouTube video. Today we're going to go over more of the War of the Spark spoiler season, part 2. Some very good spoilers coming out today, but before we go any further guys, I'd like to ask you to like, share, and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me and help me out a lot. Anyways, guys, let's get into the spoiler videos, starting today with Relentless Advance. 3 generic, 1 blue, sorcery, common, amass 3. There's a couple different amass cards, so this is the only time I'm really going to go over mass for this video. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on an army you control. If you don't control one, create a 0/0 black zombie army creature token first. The flavor text says they approach in formation, every movement efficient and sure. They halt, listen, and then press on in silent unison. So very cool card. The mass trigger just coming back again. Basically, it either puts 3 +1/+1 counters on one creature you have, or it makes a 3/3 zombie army creature token, which is cool for a common. You know, that's about standard for a common. We have another Planeswalker today, Tibalt, Rakish Instigator. It's a 2 generic, 1 red, legendary Planeswalker Tibalt. Uncommon, your opponents can't gain life. -2, create a 1/1 red devil creature token with, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. And it comes in for 5 loyalty. So the cool thing about this card is, if you guys remember a really old card, I guess not old, but old, called Erebos. Erebos, actually has this trigger. In a recent video of game nights, me and my buddies watched the game nights every now and again. They actually had a episode where Erebos was cutting off somebody's life gain trigger, and that can be ridiculous, especially in the current meta, because it's basically mono red versus mono white aggro, and mono white aggro is all about life gain, and mono red is all about burning out life, and so it helps to ensure that mono red will still be a thing. Plus the whole, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. That's ridiculous. I think we have something in standard right now similar to that. It's like Candlelight Phoenix, and it sees a bunch of play in like Aristocrats. So it's a cool card to see. I think this is a way playable Tibalt than the last Tibalt we had. Dear God, they might have redeemed him. Oh man. Our next card, Vivians Grizzly, and by the way, this is in no particular order whatsoever. Anyways, Vivians Grizzly, 2 generic, 1 green, creature, bear, spirit. It is a common. The ability it has is 3 generic, 1 green. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't, put that card in your hand. If you don't put that card in your hand, put it on the bottom of your library. So that's nice, you know, especially if that's what you're playing, is planeswalkers and creatures. That's really nice, to be able to basically scry away a card that's not a planeswalker or creature. And depending on how much mana, and we'll come back to being able to double mana, yeah, just give y'all a little preview how y'all like that. There is a way to double mana other than Nakia. And you would be able to do more. You would be able to do more triggers of this for mana. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. So, anyways, Paradise Druid, 1 generic, 1 green, creature, elf, druid. It is an uncommon. Paradise Druid has hexproof as long as it is untapped. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color. The flavor text reads: there are many kinds of duty. And mine is to see our world grow and endure. It is a 2/1. I like that it's a hexproof mana dork, because Llanowar Elf, you know, is the generic of mana dorks as you can get. 1 green for a 1/1 elf that taps for 1 green. This one taps for any color, and also has hexproof as long as it's untapped. I like that it defends itself until you get that mana, because Llanowar could simply die before you even get to tap it for mana. Anyways, let's continue. Teyo's Lightshield, 2 generic, 1 white, creature illusion. When Teyo's Lightshield enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Teyo gifted his shield to as many allies as possible, knowing he could not always be there to protect them himself. It is a 0/3. Now, I will come back to this card a little bit, in a minute, but let's just for now give you the preview that I wonder why it's not a wall and just an illusion. Anyways, I like that it's a 0/3, that puts a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. For common, that's pretty good. You know, being able to put a +1/+1 and then leave a defender for 3, that's pretty good. Vivien, Champion of the Wilds, 2 generic, 1 green, legendary planeswalker Vivien. It is of rare rarity. You may cast creature spells as though they had flash. Very nice, very good, love it. We can stop right there. I'm going to keep going. +1 until your next turn. Sorry, the text is a little faded on here. Until your next turn, up to 1 target creature gains vigilance and reach. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Exile 1 face down. -2. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Exile 1 face down and put the rest on the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. For as long as it remains exiled, you may look at that card and you may cast it if it's a creature card. I like it because it's kind of a card that your opponent can't touch. You know, it's not in your hand, it's an exile, and you just may cast it from exile. So it's kind of cool to have that where your opponent can't really, you know, they can't thought erase it, they can't drill bit you, mind rot you, divest, I think is for creatures. So it gives you protection from that specific type of deck, which is, you know, my friend, when he was looking at it, he was kind of wondering why they added that whole exile thing instead of just saying, hey, look at the top 3 cards and pick a creature, which actually is on the first, or not the first Vivien, but one of the Vivians from M19. I like that. I do. And you're able to do it as soon as it comes out, and then it also has flash. So I like that because then you can put, say for instance, they attack in with a 3/3, right? Well, you have open mana. They don't understand. And you put on some 4/4 or 3/3 or something that kills their creature before blockers are declared, so that you can declare it as a blocker. Love the ability of flashing creatures. Wrath Caption on a green mana creature, or a green mana planeswalker. Better than Wrath Caption, sorry. Vivian's Arkbow, 1 generic, 1 green, legendary artifact of rare rarity. Love the art, by the way. It looks like she can snipe with those freaking arrows. It's ridiculous. I would like to mention also, this is for the first time in, like, I feel a long time. Probably Kaladesh was the last time I really saw this. But this, and I hope I don't put my foot in my freaking mouth with this. This is the first time I've seen a colored artifact since the Gear Hulks. And that's just interesting to me to see a colored artifact. Anyways, you can pay X and tap it, then discard a card. Look at the top X cards of your library. You may put a creature card with converted mana cost X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Now, here's the thing. Me and my buddy, again, Zach Grubbs, a.k.a. Blackout, a.k.a. Dragon Tamer, we were debating about this card. He thinks it's a good card. I think it's a bad card, and this is why. You're paying X mana to dig X deep to play a creature of X value. You discard a card, so you lose. It's basically saying you draw a card, you play that card for the turn. Now, granted, I guess, yeah, you get some options, you know, between the 6 card, okay, the example we were choosing was you pay 6 mana, you tap it, and then discard a card. So at that point in time, you would look at the top X cards. So you'd look at the top 6 cards and then pick a creature with converted mana cost 6 or less from among them and put it onto the battlefield. So I just think it's basically casting a 6-cost creature, and then you have to get rid of a card. That's really kind of it for me. I don't like that whole discard a card thing, but hey, whatever. It's a legendary artifact. It's a 2 mana cost, so you get what you get. Speaking of you get what you get, Teyo the Shieldmage, 2 generic, 1 white, legendary planeswalker Teyo. His debut, and he is an uncommon. I have complaints. I have bad complaints about him being an uncommon. Granted, I like his ability, his static ability, that is, not the other one. You have hexproof. You can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponent control. Very good card. Excuse me for a second. Sorry. His -2 is create a 0/3 white wall creature token with defender. Now, I said I was going to come back to Teyo's Lightshield, and this is why. He makes a white wall creature, but he uses an illusion creature as his buddy. I don't understand, man. Vraska has a Gorgon. A Johnny has a cat, a Leonin. Why can't this dude either have... And this is what I was telling Zach. Why can't he either have a 0/3 wall... a 0/3 wall here, or this can be an illusion, and that other card can be an illusion, or they both can just be illusion walls. I mean, he's a shield mage. He makes shields, so they could just be illusion walls, or I mean, whatever. I don't understand. I feel like it's a little off-putting that his creature is different than his token, and I just don't like that. But hey, I do like that he would probably be seeing play in a higher alert deck, and in a Jesus Arcades in a high alert deck. I can see him in it for sure. Next card, Angrath's Wrath, 1 black, 1 red, sorcery. It is an uncommon, and it is a very good uncommon. Choose one. Target player sacrifices an artifact. A target player sacrifices a creature. Target player sacrifices a planeswalker. And the flavor text reads, a great city? No, this is just another prison cell. Oh, Angrath. Isn't he great, guys? I love Angrath. Gets trapped on Ixalan, comes back and gets trapped on Ravnica. Love it, guys. I do really like that they... Because, I've seen before sacrifice or destroy a artifact and destroy a creature in Rakdos colors, but now they have Planeswalker. And where you have Bedevil, I think destroys a Planeswalker. I'd have to double check that. Now you for sure can destroy Planeswalker for 2 mana in Rakdos. And let me just double check real quick on my phone that I'm not speaking out my own butt. Bedevil, destroy target artifact, creature, or Planeswalker. Hey, look at that. So basically you get to do that, except for they have to sacrifice it so they get a choice if they have another one. Thing is, with Planeswalkers especially, they more than likely will not have another one by the time you play it. So here's a cool card, Gideon's Triumph. 1 generic, 1 white, instant, uncommon. Target opponent sacrifices a creature that attacked or blocked this turn. If you control Gideon's Planeswalker, that player sacrifices 2 of those creatures instead. Love it. It's kind of like a Gideon's approach that can kill a Galta. That's what I love about it. Because especially in the format where you have Settle the Wreckage and they want to trade off by, letting 1 creature die or whatever, well, then you can be like, oh, okay, Gideon's Triumph. And you just take it. So his flavor text is interesting, and it brings on maybe a piece of the puzzle here. So his triumph came not from victory over his enemies, but from the salvation of those who survived, and that's about Gideon. So here's where the tinfoil hat comes back on. We had our speculation video about this, and we've been mostly right so far, so I'm going to continue to speculate. In the trailer, the new one that they let out at PAX East, you see Liliana using the Eternals to attack Gideon, and then trading in Gideon for Nicol Bolas. Well, I pointed out to my buddy, there's 3 Planeswalkers other than Nicol Bolas that you see in there. Doc Fadian, Liliana, and Gideon. Well, who's closest to fighting Nicol Bolas once the Eternals aren't under Liliana's control anymore, or Liliana dies, maybe? We don't know yet, just saying. It would be Gideon, and he has the Darkblade reforged, which, he just has the Darkblade. I don't think it's really necessarily reforged. But anyways, he has the Darkblade, and the Darkblade, I think, originally was used to kill a dragon by the original caption, if I'm not mistaken. God, I really wish I remember old Magic the Gathering lore. I try to retain it, and I can't. I didn't play during those sets, but anyways. So, it is a card that can take down a demon, as we saw in Dominaria, or maybe even a dragon, as we saw in older sets with caption. So I could see Gideon getting in a final strike with a Blackblade Reforged after Liliana's killed off both the freaking Planeswalkers. Okay, anyways, enough of the tinfoil hat. Keep going. Y'all came to see some spoilers, right? Kaya's Ghostform, one of the most interesting commons. I don't understand why it's a common. 1 black enchantment or a common. Enchant creature or planeswalker you control. When an enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. That is ridiculous, guys. That means, okay, so for instance, the enchanted planeswalker goes loyalty 0, right? Well, guess what? It just came back for loyalty original. And that's ridiculous because now we have planeswalkers that all they do is take down. So that can go on a planeswalker like that. Or you can put it on your Teferi to reinsure that your Teferi in Esper control is staying alive. Or, there's multiple different things that you could do with this card. Oh my god, by 4 of. These are commons. I can't believe they're commons, guys. It's 1 black mana. 1 black mana. That's the other thing that bugs me about this card. Oh, man. The Eternals found some sparks to be quite slippery. I guess Kaya in this picture is showing you that she is fighting for the good people, just like we imagined she would. Let me read this card because I feel like I always feel like I'm misreading this card. Enchant creature or planeswalker you control. When enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. I'm not reading it wrong, guys. I'm not. It blinks. It goes doo-doo and comes back. So I don't understand. Really don't, Wizards. What the hell? Ahn Crop Invader. 2 generic, 1 red. Creature, zombie, minotaur, warrior, common. As long as it's your turn, Ahn Crop Invader has first strike. Then it has the ability to pay 1 generic, sacrifice another creature. Ahn Crop Invader gets fire breathing, +2/+0, until end of turn. With a crew of them, I would conquer any sea. Angrath. Of course you would say that. They're minotaurs. I don't really have any opinion on this. It's an okay card, I guess. It's going to be seen in more of the limited format. Nothing like Kaya's Ghostform, guys. But anyways. Samut's Sprint. Pretty cool card. Samut just running on the wall here. 1 red instant uncommon. Common. It's a common, guys. Target creature gets +2/+1 and gains haste until end of turn. Scry 1. So I do like that. That's a combat trick that also isn't just in the front end, and also gives them an ability. So I do like that. Samut's war was intensely personal. Every hour she faced enemies she once loved as friends and horrors she once revered as gods. Yes, so this is showing some personal thoughts and aspects from Samut. Showing how she's fighting all of these Eternals that she used to call friends. And that's just not right. It's like if Batman had to kill Superman, that's the type of things that you're seeing here. which I guess would, Batman versus Superman, the movie. Don't mention it. Don't mention it. Kaya, Bane of the Dead. 3 generic, 3 hybrid mana of white or black. Legendary Planeswalker Kaya, uncommon. Static ability. Your opponents and permanents your opponents control with hexproof can be targets of spells and abilities you control as though they don't have hexproof. That's an insane card. We have a land dedicated to that. Detection Beacon, I believe is the card. It's like detection. It's a lighthouse. Maybe it's a detection lighthouse. I don't know, but it's a card that people have been using recently because Carnage Tyrants suck. Because Vine Mares sometimes suck. I mean, there's multiple hexproof cards, but those are 2 off the top of my head. I'm just like, frick that. And then, of course, the old -3 exile target creature, and it comes down for 7 loyalty, so you can do it twice. That's pretty good. I like that. It's also exile, so it helps out with the other Kaya. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I like that. Wanderer's Strike. 4 generic, 1 white. I will come back to who the Wanderer is in just a minute. Excuse me. This is a sorcery, common. Exile target creature, then proliferate. Of course proliferate is amazing. Choose any number permanent and/or players, permanents and/or players, then give each another counter of each kind already there. Precise, clean cuts, no one saw anything. Again, tag the report with my code and file it. Lavinia. For some reason my friend thought Lavinia was dead. I want to say she's not. I didn't see anything that would say she's dead, but whatever. Samut, Tyrant Smasher. Here's Samut. 2 generic and 2 red or green mana. Hybrid. Legendary Planeswalker Samut. Uncommon. Creatures you control have haste. Love that. -1 target creatures gets +2/+1 and gains haste until end of turn. So basically, going back to Samut Sprint, yeah, it's Samut Sprint, just on a -1. So you can do it 5 times, and then she's dead. And then Scry 1. So I don't appreciate that her static ability is creatures you control have haste, and then they also put it into their... they basically make a Samut Sprint. That feels like lazy writing. I would have done like maybe First Strike, or maybe even God, she would be broken if it was Double Strike, but she is holding 2 swords. Something like that. I don't appreciate that it's haste and then haste. Anyways, you get what you get. Cruel Celebrant. 1 white, 1 black creature vampire uncommon. When Cruel Celebrant or another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And then it says, whichever side wins, I'm sure the banquet will be superb. 1, 2 on a vampire body. I do like... I actually like this card. Because it's basically like... It's basically a poison tip archer or Judith. In fact, it could pair well with Judith. In fact, it could pair well with Afterlife because it doesn't even say or another non-token creature. So if your token creatures die, well, guess what? You just drain them for 1, and I like that. I really do. I like it. Orzhov looking vampire there. Here's the Wanderer. So everybody thought that this card was Mu Yongling, I believe is the name of the planeswalker I was thinking of. Mu Yongling. Yeah, Mu Yongling. And so we all thought she was Mu Yongling. And Now, she still could be. This is a generic The Wanderer. Ooh. But anyways, let's get into the card before I go any further. 3 generic, 1 white, legendary planeswalker, uncommon. Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to you and other permanents you control. -2, exile target creature with power 4 or greater. And you can do that twice because she has a loyalty count of 5. So what's really cool about the Wanderer is that it kind of gets out that burn. It prevents burn. Now, granted, I wish it was a 3 and not a 4 CMC, but you get what you get. It's not uncommon. I still think it's Mu Yongling. Just because it's weird of them to introduce a new planeswalker, and then give it such a vague name like The Wanderer. Ooh. Anyways, I tried to look up anything else on it, and nobody had anything. Ooh, so, excuse me. If you have anything on the Wanderer, please let me know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe she's from an older set. Anyways, next card. Burning Prophet. 1 white, 1 red, creature, human, wizard. It is a common. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Burning Prophet gets fire breathing. +1/+0 until end of turn, then scry 1. The flavor text reads, this day will end in death, but not the one you hoped for. The day will end in victory, but not the one you expected. Well, thanks for the prophecy here. I guess you can't really see anything in this fireball other than it being, a skeleton, you see. Anyways, it's just a fire breather. That also lets you scry 1 every single time you play a non-creature spell. That's kind of cool, being able to scry 1 every time you play a instant, sorcery, enchantment, planeswalker. What am I missing? Artifact, tribal. Just kidding. Anyways, honor the God Pharaoh. 2 generic, 1 red sorcery common. As an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card. Draw 2 cards, amass 1. And I already said I'm not going to go back over that, so please refer to the older portion of this video for what amass means, or read. The flavor text reads, in life they revered a diverse pantheon of gods. Now they revere only the God Pharaoh. So it's the tormenting voices that allows you to amass. So where you would use tormenting voices, why not just use this card? Excuse me. Tormenting voices was 1 generic, 1 red. This is 1 more generic. That's the only difference. So it's a tormenting voice, kind of. Alright, Erratic Visionary. 1 generic, 1 blue. Creature, human, wizard. 1 generic, 1 blue. Tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. An Is It experiment begins with a what if, gets approved with a why not, and concludes with a Eureka. It is a 1/3, which is on par for human wizards. So, it's just a looting mechanic on a blue card, and it's okay. It's going to be better for limited format, because then you can loot. Naga Eternal. Well, I guess it's not looting, because you don't discard it first. You draw it first, and then just... Anyways. Naga Eternal. 2 generic, 1 blue. Creature, zombie, Naga. It is a common. It is a 3/2/4/3 in blue. And then it reads, I recognize the headdress. This one was feared even by her fellow initiates, and then this is Samut speaking. So Samut recognizes people. That's kind of crazy. It's a common. I don't have anything to say on it. This is just the Augor of Bolas I went over in my last video. This is a pre-release promo. There is no future save the one my master wills. I think what's interesting is that, and maybe I'm missing something here. When did Nicol Bolas start talking to merfolk wizards? That's kind of funny to me. His creature card is a Merfolk Wizard. It seems out of character. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Rising Populace, and I love the art. They do this from time to time. I wish I knew the artist's name. Maybe that's what it is down there. I don't know. But I love the art type on this. The whole grimacy looking humans, and what is that picture of? It's a picture of some sort of elf looking creature. It looks like I don't know who, but anyways, Rising Populace, 2 generic, 1 blue, 1 blue, guys, 2 generic, 1 white. Creature human common. Whenever another creature or planeswalker you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Rising Populace. The flavor text reads, Grief is a crucible where resolve is tempered. 2/2. I like that it can go in an Aristocrats deck, guys. Aristocrats is getting some love. I love it. And again, okay, so I know I keep saying Aristocrats, and some people don't know what that means, including my buddy Zach Grubbs. Please make fun of him. Anyways, what it means is that you're okay with some of your creatures dying for other creatures to get effects, like when another creature or planeswalker you control dies, something happens. That makes it a aristocrat feel. At least from what I understand, that's the archetype. Karn's Bastion, such a beautiful card. I love everything about it, honestly, but at least I love what it does. So it's a land, it's a rare, tap it, add a generic. That's cool. For generic, tap it, proliferate. So it is a continuous proliferating trigger. I love it. On a land, that's pretty cool. That's going to be seen playing like Commander, if there's proliferate in Modern, maybe, with Infect, probably, maybe. Anyways, I love it. I like it. Flavor text. I can't protect everyone here, but those I can, I will. Karn. Love it. Liliana's Triumph. 1 generic, 1 black, instant, uncommon. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you control Liliana Planeswalker, each opponent also discards a card. So that's cool. That's real cool. This is the type of things I was saying that Vivian's going to get rid of with her -2 ability, being able to make me also discard a card. Well, it wouldn't be that card. So this is one of those cards that it kind of combats. Just going back to the Vivian and why I like her. Love the art on this. Okay, ever since the trailer, guys, I can't stop singing Linkin Park. I love it. And Liliana has now become my new Planeswalker babe. Anyways. Teferi, Time Raveler. 1 generic, 1 white, 1 blue. Legendary Planeswalker Teferi. It is a rare. Each opponent can cast spells only anytime they would cast a sorcery. Nice. Love it, especially when we're getting flash love from planeswalkers in lands. +1 until your next turn, you may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. Oh my god, this is amazing. Star of Extinction at freaking instant speed, guys. It's happening. You'll see it. It's happening. Even if Teferi dies, this effect still stays. It stays. -3, return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand. Draw a card. That's pretty cool too. I guess I don't necessarily wish it hit planeswalkers other than to stop them from their ultimate bit triggers. But anyways, I love his +1 ability. I don't know if I'll ever -3 him, but I'll +1 the crap out of Teferi. Yeah, buddy. Believe it. Believe it. Yeah. Dovin's Veto. 1 white, 1 blue, instant, uncommon. This spell can't be countered. Counter target non-creature spell. It's a negate that can't be countered, guys. Woo! This is great. Okay, so here's what Teferi does. Each opponent can cast spells only anytime they would cast a sorcery. Who knows of any counters that actually work at at sorcery speed? They don't. They don't, guys. They have to be instants to be a counter. So guess what? This says Dovin's Veto sucks. Anyways, I'm super excited for Teferi. Not as excited as one other Planeswalker I will show y'all today. This spell can't be counter target creature, non-creature spell. And as we can see in the photo, and as he says right here, I see you've learned nothing, Chandra. You'd still put a match to something rather than understand it. I don't know what's happening here other than that they're fighting. Either that or he's basically whipping her butt because it looks like he can't be touched by fire. I mean, you don't see any burn marks here. This card was kind of mentioned already, at least by name, but we didn't know what it was going to do. I really hate that it's at least the flavor text on it. I kind of like that it is a negate that can't be countered, but I don't like the flavor text and art on it. I thought it was literally going to be Dovin coming to the good side, and I was wrong. I was wrong. Crush Dissent. 3 generic, 1 blue, instant, common, counter target spell unless its controller pays 2, then amass 2. And then the flavor text reads, all I ask is complete obedience. Nicol Bolas. So yeah, this is a cool card. It's a quench, but it's a quench that allows you to amass. So I like it. These might be the only counters. I know there's going to be counters. Obviously, there has to be. But I think these might be the only 2 counters. I think so. Yeah. Anyways. K-Aura Behemoth Becketer. 2 generic, 1 green or blue mana hybrid. Legendary Planeswalker K-Aura. Cora. Anyways. Uncommon, whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. And then her -1 untap target permanent. It's cool. I like it. I like it. So he instantly, he being Blackout, instantly came up with the enchantment. I think it's something Majesty. Anyways, it's a card that says at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a card with power 4 or greater, a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. And that's not this. It's Colossal Majesty, by the way. That's not this, but it is the same mana cost. So they pair well, especially because the other one's in green. I like that K-Aura is back, but she still sucks. And be whatever fan you want to be, but K-Aura sucks. Bye. Arlinn, Voice of the Pack. 4 generic, 2 green. Legendary Planeswalker Arlinn. Uncommon. Each creature you control that's a wolf or a werewolf enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. -2. Create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. And of course, there's wolves. Arlinn's wolves, to be more exact. So I don't know if that means to bring back werewolves. And she, of course, can make wolves. And there are, I think, wolves in Standard right now. And, of course, Arlinn's wolf is in Standard now. Or will be. But I don't know if it's really worth it for that amount of mana cost, you know? That's kind of bad. Granted, she can make 3 tokens, so over her lifespan. Her initial lifespan, anyways. Granted, in the picture she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so she should make 7. Anyways. Arlinn's Wolf, 2 generic, 1 green, creature wolf, common. Arlinn's Wolf can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. So, you can't exact seize them. You have to hit them for an more amount than 2. If you don't speak wolf, allow me to translate. 1 step closer and I'll rip your throat out. Arlinn Cord. I don't really have anything to say about Arlinn's Wolf. It's a 3/2 for 3. Obnixilis Cruelty. Here's a creature that belonged in Rakdos. 2 generic, 1 black, instant common. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Flavor text reads, trapped on Ravnica with no affection for either side. Obnixilis sought gratification and random acts of torment. And as you can see, he's tormenting like a dove here. He's shad. Poor bird of paradise. Oh, guys, hold on. I just want to see this beautiful card come back. Oh, Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. 1 generic, 3 blue freaking mana. Legendary Planeswalker Jace for rare rarity. Here's the best part about him. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. Laboratory Maniac, everybody. Can you say Laboratory Maniac? Oh, man. I've missed you, Laboratory Maniac, on a Planeswalker Jace. +1, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. Draw a card. -8, draw 7 cards. Then if your library has no cards in it, you win the game. Maybe, okay. The only reason I can think -8 would be like that is in case they would consider Jace to die on the -8 trigger and you win. You would draw the rest of your library. But, well, then if your library has no cards on it, so you wouldn't have to draw. You could draw exactly the amount of cards in your library, and then if you don't have a library, you win. Okay, that makes more sense than what I was thinking. But anyways, I love this card. Thinking of brewing all about it. You can play cards like Narcomoeba in this and use them as defenders. You can play cards like Arclight Phoenix and not even play red. That's the other thing about this. You could, if you're worried about it, you could play red, but in like red mana, but you could just do it in Izzet mana instead, so that way you'd only have 8, 4 Sulphur Falls, 4 Steam Vents, so that way you wouldn't be too scared to play your Phoenix. But then I recommend playing Drowned Secrets and using it on yourself to mill yourself out of Narcomoebas, of freaking whatchamacallit, Arclight Phoenixes. I'm really excited for this card because I think it's going to bring up a new type of deck that I would love a lot. That you don't actually have to kill your opponent's life total. You can just mill out your whole deck. That would be fine. Radical Ideas. Chemistry's Insight. Oh, so many cards. Anyways, let's continue. Time Wipe. 2 generic, 2 white, 1 blue. Sorcery rare. Return a creature you control to its owner's hand, then destroy all creatures. The flavor text reads, to comprehend the full answer requires years of temporal study. In short, they were now never born in the first place. Teferi. So I wonder if Teferi is just saying this about the Eternals that he's fighting at the moment, or if he actually wiped all of the Eternals out of existence. That would be pretty cool. He is a time mage, and that's why I think that's pretty cool. So the thing about this, return a creature you control to its owner's hand then. So that's the part that I'm a little worrisome about, is that it feels like to play Time Wipe, not only do you need this here, which is the mana cost, you also need a creature on board so that you can return it. And you also have to control the creature on the board so that you can return it to your hand. Anyways, I don't like it. I don't like it. Obnixilis the Hate Twisted. 3 generic, 2 black, legendary Planeswalker Nixilis. Uncommon. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Obnixilis the Hate Twisted deals 1 damage to that player. Now, it's very, 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 very important that Obnixilis deals damage to that player. I will tell you why later. -2, destroy target creature its controller draws 2 cards. And then it is a 5 loyalty. I like Obnixilis the Hate Twisted. I'm almost certain he's going to see play. It is literally the hate against the Jace Wielder of Mysteries deck. And that's what I think is so cool. Is that it hates out that deck super hard. Anyways, talk about balancing. Here's some cool cards as well. I actually have to look up a card for you guys at the end of this video. Okay guys, sorry about that. I had to go add some stuff to the PowerPoint that I found out I was missing. Anyways, these, I don't know how necessarily these next couple are going to be real or not. I'm pretty sure they are. Like, they look like they are. And I know the writing on it's hard to read, so I'll read it for you. So, Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord. 2 generic, 1 white, 1 black, legendary planeswalker Sorin. Static ability is, as long as it's your turn, creatures and planeswalkers you control have lifelink, which is why I was saying that it's relevant. Whoops, where'd it go? Where did it go? Come on. For Obnixilis to be doing the damage is because that means that it's going to gain you life as well as dealing damage, so it's basically draining them for drawing cards. And they have to draw a card for each turn. The rest of Sorin says, Zorn Vengeful Bloodlord deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. That's just +2. His negative X, return target creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature is a vampire in addition to its other types. And then it comes in for 4 loyalty. Excuse me. I tried to find a better picture source for you guys. I apologize. On these next couple, it's going to be about the same. And I just apologize about that. I had to go looking around. But anyways, Gideon's Black Blade. 1 generic, 2 white, legendary planeswalker Gideon. As long as it's your turn, Gideon Blackblade is a 4/4 human soldier creature token, not token, with indestructible that's still a planeswalker. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Gideon Blackblade during your turn. During your turn. +1, up to 1 other target creature you control, gains your choice of Vigilance, Lifelink, or Indestructible until end of turn. -6, exile target non-land permanent, and it also is a 4 loyalty for 3. I like it. That's a little aggressive, and I love it. That's why I also think that he's, especially because he's one of the mythic ones. And I think it might just be this particular one. Okay, so my buddy said that he thinks this is going to be the Mythic Edition. That these next couple that you look at are going to be Mythic Editions. And obviously that's why they're at Mythic Rarity. He still thinks this is probably a rare Planeswalker. And I get it. I mean, it only has 2 abilities instead of 3, as we've seen from other Mythics. So maybe it is. I would like to mention that because he becomes a 4/4 soldier creature, that he can use the Helm of the Host to create another copy of himself that will continue to be a 4/4 creature on your turn. So it's very cool to see that, and then he can give his other copy Vigilance, Lifelink, or Indestructible until end of turn. Excuse me. Sorry. Of course, that doesn't matter if you have Sorin, because your Planeswalkers have Lifelink, and also you creatures have lifelink, and that's what he becomes during your turn. Angrath, Chaos Captain, 2 generic, 1 red, 2 red or black mana, hybrid, legendary planeswalker, Angrath. It is an uncommon. Creatures you control have menace, -2, amass 2. I like this card because it makes zombies. It makes you a big zombie army. That also can have menace. So there you go. It defends itself, and then it gives your creatures menace. I like that. I'm still debating whether it looks like he's fighting Eternals in this picture or not. I mean, if you look in the background, that Eternal has his back turned. That's the only real reason. This one might be either cheering him on or something. But in the earlier picture, it kind of looked like he was in one of them, it looked like he was tired of being trapped on this plains. The other one said that he was really intrigued by how he wanted these to be his crew, these little eternal creatures. More specifically, I think it was an eternal minotaur, but what am I? Anyways, this is, yes, bear witness, I have MTG Goldfish translation on my stream. I'm sorry, this is the only one that didn't have it in whatever language it originally was in. So, thank you, MTG Goldfish, for being there for us when we need you. I watch Saffron Olive, so Saffron Olive, whatever. So I appreciate MTG Goldfish for that. Nissa, who shakes the world. 3 generic, 2 green. Legendary Planeswalker Nissa. It is of rare rarity. So, you remember when I said that you're going to be able to tap land for additional land? Well, here it is. Whenever you tap a forest for mana, add an additional green mana. +1. Now, what's really cool about this is that their buddy lands read, right? No. The Steam, okay, so the shock lands actually read as hybrid lands of whatever 2 colors. So anything that has green will be considered a forest as well. And so you would be able to tap for a blue mana, but also a green mana. So there you go. It doesn't say basic forest, so take that to your advantage. Take it as wisely. +1, put 3 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target non-creature land you control. Untap it. It is... God. That's bad. It is a 3/3 elemental creature with vigilance. It gains a 3/3 elemental creature with vigilance and that's still in trample. I'll look it up. I'm sorry, guys. I'll look it up on here. Like I said, I could only find one website with it. And that specific website was the only one that had it. That's why I'm also not wondering. I'm also wondering if these are real. But then, of course, I saw just recently that Gideon Blackblade is on another website. So yeah, I believe these are actually real. So let me tap here on this website. Put the +1 ability. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target non-creature land you control. Untap it. It becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with vigilance and haste that's still a land. The -8, you get an emblem with lands you control have indestructible. Search your library for any number of forest cards. Put them into play tapped, then shuffle your library. So that's pretty cool. You bring it out on turn 5, take it up to 6. Turn 7, take it up to 7. Turn 8, take it up to 8. Oh, wait, no, excuse me. Turn 6, take it up to 7. 7 to 8. On turn 8, you get all your forest out of your graveyard, or forest out of your library. And yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Chandra Fire Artisan. Because this is also on that particular website, let me trade over onto the website. Chandra Fire Artisan, 2 generic, 2 red, legendary planeswalker Chandra. She is of rare rarity. Whenever 1 or more loyalty counters are removed from Chandra Fire Artisan, she deals that much damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Hey, look at that lifelink, Sorin. +1, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. -7, exile the top 7 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. That does not give you the mana to play them, though, so hopefully you have the mana by then. But anyways, I do like whenever 1 or more loyalty counters are removed from Chandra, being able to deal that much damage to target opponent or planeswalker, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So anyways, here's some more. I just pulled this one off, so I'll be reading it with you guys for the first time right now. Davriel Rogue Shadow Mage, 2 generic, 1 black legendary planeswalker Davriel. Uncommon. Yeah, again, everybody that's had their first little peek into the Magic the Gathering universe this time around, their first actual planeswalker card, is uncommon. What is with that? At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 1 or fewer cards in hand, Davriel Rogue Shadow Mage deals 2 damage to them. I like that. That's like pretty good. -1, target player discards a card. Hey, that's pretty good. I like that. Yeah, Davriel. You know, you may be an uncommon in the eyes of rarity, but you're not an uncommon in my eyes. Yeah. Karn the Great Creator. 4 generic. So, Legendary Planeswalker Karn. It has a rare trait of rare. Activate abilities of artifacts your opponent's control can't be activated. Activated abilities of artifacts your opponent's control can't be activated. +1 until your next turn, up to 1 target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness equal to its converted mana cost. Okay. So, I guess I'm going to start swinging in with a Immortal Sun from now on. Yep, yes sir, that's what he told me. -2, you may choose an artifact card for you own from outside the game or in exile, reveal that card and put it into your hand. So that's how I'm getting the Immortal Sun and putting it in my hand. I think it's funny that they printed a 4-costing wish card. Granted, it's a limited wish card, and if you don't know what wish cards are, well, they take cards from outside the game or in exile or wherever, and they put it into your hand. And anything but your library, because that would be a tutor card. So, in your graveyard, because that would be your recursion card. So anyway, it's not the point. Point being is that they printed a 4-costing wish card, 4 generic mana costing wish card. This card will probably be ridiculous. I can't think of specifically off the top of my head artifacts that are ridiculous, but hey, I could have used this back when I had 4 mana, but was looking for a freaking Fountain of Renewal. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I could have used this. Could have used you. Where were you at, Karn the Great Creator? Anyways, guys, that's the video. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for having some laughs with me. This is Sneaky Narcotic. Leaving you guys on the note that I will be putting out all the spoilers. So if you guys need to see these spoilers, I get them out relatively fast. As soon as I get home, you guys will get them. So thank you guys for watching. Please give me a like, subscribe, and share. In the comment, if you like, tell me how I'm wrong, tell me how I'm right. This is Sneaky Narcotic. Signing off.